I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin, and in this video we're going to have a look at the Firestarter Launchpad. Nothing in this video is financial advice, it is for entertainment purposes only. This is a Polygon chain launchpad, a launchpad for initial Metaverse offerings on the future. So they have recently started a couple of months ago. There has been quite some interesting projects lined up on this actual launchpad. The tiered system will be discussed, the overview will be discussed, when would be a good entry point and what kind of projects do they have. All coming up in this video. Alright, so basically focused on metaverses. You can buy it already on KuCoin and QuickSwap. Current price currently it's sitting about 123. When they started, the first day it reached about $2, went down $1, then $2.40, $2.80, reached an all-time high of about $3.20, and since then has declined. Why is that? Are there no good projects? Who knows? We will see it in this video. 122 million fully diluted market cap and about 16.9 million current market cap. KuCoin carrying most of the volume with about 2.8 million in daily volume. QuickSwap with about just under 500,000, making a total of 3.2 million daily volume, which is not that high. Obviously, this has quite some potential of being quite new, only launched in the middle of October, so almost 2.5–3 months old. Alright, they had some quite interesting projects, so they are going to launch still 1 to 11 games. They're going to cover Illumnia Crown, which is from the Legends of Illumnia, which I covered on this channel in a full research report. They're going to do Cyber Trade. They already did Decimated, which I also covered on this channel extensively. If you're missing out on these gaming cryptos, make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on anything. So you can see that it's on the Solana blockchain, this one is on Polygon, this one is on the Binance Smart Chain. So they do have the option, although it's powered by Polygon, to do cross-chain projects. Right? So you need to lock Flame and get access to our upcoming IMOs on Firestarter, where they say they focus on the metaverse, but Decimated is just a game. Illumnia is a metaverse, but more so a game style. So I don't know how broad they're taking the initial metaverse offerings. It's basically games, right? That would IGO would be a better term, in my opinion. Earn Flame, earn up to 800% APY in Flame rewards by staking your LP tokens, provide liquidity. That might be interesting for people into liquidity, which is not me. We facilitate the early stage funding of metaverse projects and communities by amplifying them through culture. Whatever the fuck that means, amplifying them through culture, that means nothing. Here. Our celebrity, influencer, and industry partners providing unparalleled reach and social backing. I would like to know then who these parties are. I do understand the IMO flow. Community over everything. We don't just launch tokens, we launch communities, giving early adopters the first chance in participation, governance, and access. Ooh, I have something interesting for your community later. Firestarter incubates the top metaverse projects. Throughout the year, we provide resources to the top metaverse projects and communities, culminating, I don't know what that means, in an IMO initial metaverse offering. Projects open their pre-sale funding rounds. Okay, that's cool, we own the future, I get it. Alright, the tiers, very much important, I would say. Sitting at a current price of $1.23, refresh, still $1.23. You have a surprise lottery. We will randomly pick 10 lucky winners of the light tier and airdrop them an IMO launch price. Okay, light tier, flame power required. Flame power is an aggregator that counts all eligible flame balance across several sources. All right, how does that work? We would need to know the Firestarter tiers. All right, so they have discussed this with the community, so they say. Flame power is an aggregated calculation, takes into account, why do these platforms always have to make it hella difficult? Alright, so 1 flame is 1 flame power. Staking, 0.001 flame, QS LP token is 1,000 flame power. Okay. Metaverse champion, 1 hero is 4.5, so there's an NFT as well. Staking will follow the ratio Okay, 0.001 flame QSLP is 1000 flame power. Example, okay, flame power or, okay, that makes sense. Depending on the amount of flame accumulated, wallets will be divided into 5 tiers. Starting with the light, ranking up to the flame, your Firestarter tier will determine the amount of allocation you get for each project. Okay, that's clear. Surprise lottery, first come, first serve, leaderboard. Okay, so this basically covers everything, which is quite simple, right? So in the light tier, which is here, right, which is this overview, you have 100 plus flame power, you have 500 plus flame power, you have 5,000 plus flame power, you have 10,000 plus and 25,000 plus. So definitely need to accumulate some heavy power there. Where was the article? 3 types of access. Firestarter tier, okay, so 3 types. The base allocation here is not applicable, you just win something. 10 lucky winners to get IMO launch prize, and here's the base allocation starting. Then 2x, 4x, 8x, multiple allocation per tier. I don't understand why they're trying to make it this complicated, because it really shouldn't have to be. Lottery tickets, 1, 9, 10, 9, 20, 49, 50 plus tickets. Once you have participated in an IMO, there's a 7-day cooldown, which I assume means that you cannot, well, let me see what it actually says. Unstake or participate in another one. After successful are restricted from applying to new. Okay, so you cannot do the whitelist again. It's impossible to unstake and unlock your flame tokens during the 7-day cooldown as well. Okay. Not applicable to top 10 on the leader flame leaderboard. Alright, so the top 10 gets like an exclusive. They have no cooldown, which is kind of strange. And there's also guaranteed allocation. Man, like, why did they make it so complicated? So many different variables. In my opinion, this shit could be so easy, but I think they just do it to be fancy and like it makes no sense. Top 25 on the flame leaderboard and hero NFT holders. Amount of max allocation depends on the tier. But if you have the top 25, you should be inside the highest tier. That only makes sense. Yeah, so whoever wrote this page is fucking retarded. But anyway, let me pull up the leaderboard, and then you'll most likely see that everybody in the top 25 is in the flame tier. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Top 25, flame power, 48,000. So the top 25 should all have above 25,000. Shocker, they do. Just common sense, guys, come on. So these NFTs, they also count. So the leaderboard is not really that clear because it's updated 30 minutes ago. But these are basically, they have an allocation multiplier of an 8x. They have guaranteed allocation. Then they can use their NFTs. So there's a lot of variables how you can basically manipulate your allocation. But how much allocation you get, that is not really clear. You can also show the top 100, which I would like to see. So basically, in order to get into the top 25 currently, which is about 30, and here it says the tickets as well. And he has guaranteed allocation because they have like the NFT. So that's why these guys are like guaranteed to receive allocation. If you want to not get an NFT and still get allocation, then you need about 35,000 flame power, which basically means 35,000 tokens. If I understand correctly from this flame power equation thingy. So yeah, I would just lock the tokens and not provide liquidity because that's not really my thing. So that would be 35,000. So we're looking at about $40,000, which I would say is extremely unrealistic for this platform, right? Basically, your allocation would be pulled down as well because people are holding these NFTs, which apparently gives them free access to guaranteed allocation, which basically siphons off your guaranteed allocation. And then they have the multipliers as well. So if you take an entry on the lower flame power side of things, even if you would have an NFT, so the lottery, yeah, so what I'm thinking is this, yeah, these projects, let me see if I can find how much they're going to raise. They're probably not going to raise like $500,000, $1 million. They're most likely going to range. They're going to raise, let's say 200, 300K. right? That's most likely what most of these projects raise. So this one has been completed, that's their own thing. This one has been Nikki Diamonds NFT, Heroes AG. So can we see how much they raised? No. 174,000. Okay. So Decimated. This one is not available yet. Decimated raised. To see full stats, switch to the Solana network. Okay, Polygon, Solana. And still can't see anything. All right. Yeah. So basically we want to know, would I make an entry on this? No. I think allocations are probably too small. You should have been in this platform, probably on the actual IDO, right? When it was like here. So if you participated in the actual Firestarter listing itself, then you probably got a fuck ton of tokens, which basically means that it would make a lot more sense. Right now, 40,000 for the project that they have. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like Lumnia Crown. I don't know about the other ones, but Lumnia Crown is probably a good project. And then Decimated was also a really good project, right? So one thing I want to address real quick, because I think it's important for the price. The Decimated launch happened when? I need to know which date that was. So that's basically the 29th, right? We know that the tokens are staked for 7 days after participation. So the 29th, then there's 2 days, and then 5 days. So today is the 2nd of January. On the 5th of January, you will see a rapid decline in the price because people are going to dump this token. Why specifically? Because something went wrong on the Decimated launch. People in my community were going crazy about it because I covered Decimated on YouTube, right? I was not going to participate myself because I don't like this platform that much, and the other platforms was on I didn't have access to, but it was something that messed up the first come first serve round. So basically 80% was sold out before anybody could even join. Maybe bots, maybe something else, maybe a technical glitch, but Firestarter did not give any, I think, feedback on it. Decimated didn't either. So the people are angry. I think this will create a great buying opportunity if you would be interested. So 5th of January, on that day, the tokens get unlocked from the initial Decimated staking in order to participate in this IDO, which a lot of people wanted to do but didn't get the chance to. So I assume then on that specific day, the price will drop significantly, and you can make a good entry if you would like to. As it appears, if it would drop, let's say like really hard, like 40%, I might consider it, but I would want to have the guaranteed allocation, and I would probably want to end up in the top 5, top 10, not to get out competed, right? Which I think 40k is a ridiculous amount of money, which I'm not going to spend on such a very small launchpad. I'd rather spend that on a bigger launchpad in that case. So that's my opinion. That's the tier system. That's what the projects look like. So the projects are good, not gonna lie. The tier system is very much overcomplicated. I don't think it has to be that complicated. So the question really is, how did you get these NFTs potentially, right? So with these NFTs, they did like an airdrop. So you got like 1100 NFTs, which is called the flare. And from these flares could ignite, and then you got like a Firestarter hero, and there were a total of 226 made, right? And they basically give you guaranteed allocation. These things are fucking expensive. There's a lot of fake collections, so be aware of that. But right now there's 7.36 Ethereum, which is I think way overpriced. Because it says that it gives you guaranteed allocation, it doesn't say how much allocation it does give you. You still need to combine it with the flame power and actually get the multipliers, right? So if you only hold the thingy, you get your guaranteed allocation, but not the multiplier that you might desire, you see? So these ones hold less, and they do have the NFT, which I do think the NFT is interesting. I think it's a fun play, but again, this is more for the bigger players. Once they were quite cheap. So here, if you could look, average price was like half an Ethereum, but I don't think they did mention how. So maybe here they mentioned what the utility actually was, and the price went up quite quickly, right? Specifically for the actual IDO that was going to happen during this time. And then it has been quite expensive ever since. People 2 days ago bought 1.5 Ethereum. Here was one for 2.75. So it fluctuates. I don't know if these are like different trades or whatever, but it's like 6 Ethereum. I think is way too expensive for me to consider something like this. If you would go all in on the platform, obviously get this, because over time it would increase in value. If you look at the actual flare itself, right, then you could still buy these flares, and they say that there's an opportunity for them to ignite in the future, right? So there's a Firestarter Metaverse collection, flare, and they're still being sold. They're about, well, these flares are only $41. Right, $40. So you might be able to buy many if you would like to. And then they said, see what ignites, own the future. So there would have to be some information, chance to ignite into a Firestarter Metaverse character. All flares NFTs will ignite at some point in the future. So I think as soon as the platform grows, the more of these, the flares will be still hold to the maximum, but over time they will ignite. So especially for $40, I mean, they're a little bit vague, obviously, about it, but as they're only $40, you might as well buy, you know, if you got a hero and you got the guaranteed allocation in like the flames, you're really into this, you might as well buy like 100, 200 of these Firestarter hero flares, which hopefully then one day ignite. Because if they would ignite specifically into the hero, probably they will launch into a different character, but if they would ignite into a hero and they would end up being like 6 Ethereum each, as these are right now, that might be a very interesting investment opportunity, right? So that's something to consider, in my opinion. So for this platform, is it interesting for me personally? No, right? I think I don't do lottery at all. Right, that's one of my things. I always need guaranteed allocation, and I think it's a little bit expensive for what they currently offer, but they do have some interesting projects lined up. Am I willing to take a smaller allocation? No. So am I willing to play the lottery? Also no. So I think with the opportunity cost, I can better spend my money somewhere else. However, is this interesting? Will I revisit it in the future for another look? Sure. Right, specifically the 5th of January, I will definitely look at this project multiple times a day to see if the price has dumped so significantly to basically allow us to buy in on this. If I would buy in, especially because you need to stake the tokens, also not something that I don't necessarily like. I would do it, like with Seedify also did this, because I had to, but it's not something that I would like. So even if they're also locked for 30 days, unlocking or unstocking before the 30-day mark will result in penalties. So in addition to the 7-day cooldown, there's a 30-day lock on the staking, and that's all because they want to cut down the circulating supply and assumingly drive the price up in the short term, which are all things I'm not a huge fan of. However, great potential, right? Interesting projects, as I said. Where do I think this price will move? Over the next 5 days, I think it will dump, especially on the 5th of January. This evolving from the fact that the decimated launch was quite a disaster, and there was a lot of hype around this project, right? So the decimated launch that happened on the 29th, right? So this probably purchase run was for decimated. So if we zoom in on a closer view, right, that was actually quite a good run that they did, right? So it went basically from $1.40, so 25% increase, and then there was like a rapid downturn. And then it hasn't dumped yet, right? So from the people that did participate in Decimated, that got their allocation and feel like they got screwed over, they will obviously leave the Firestarter platform, and that would happen, according to my calculations, on the 5th of January. But we shall see. Let me know what you think about the Firestarter platform, if I missed anything, in the comments down below. I think it's interesting. I will keep my eye on it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.